Cobble Hill by Cecily von Ziegesar, and of course you may well know her as the powerhouse behind Gossip Girl. This is published by Orion Books and it is of course set in Cobble Hill, and that is, if you go to the Brooklyn Bridge, it is a 20-minute walk into Brooklyn from Manhattan. So this is a brownstone area and she has populated her little area of New York with some very interesting characters whose lives overlap. Why not start with Roy and Wendy? Roy is an author, but he hasn't written for 5 years, and they have come over because Wendy has got herself a new job. They have a daughter called Shy. Now, I'll start with this. Roy is writing a book and he's not sure whether he's going to call it gold or red. He's very indecisive, and he's populated it with 2 characters called Karen and Bettina. And he says he really doesn't like these names. I have to admit, I am actually a Bettina, not always a Tina. So I took offence at his dislike of those names. And to be honest, this book is populated with oddball names. You've got Tupper, you've got Peaches, you've got Shy, so I don't think he can talk. And continuing with the name theme, we have Stuart Little, nothing to do with the mouse. He was an erstwhile rocker, very famous in his day and still quite widely recognised. And he is married to Mandy, who likes to spend her days lying in bed because she has apparently got multiple sclerosis, only I think that is a fabrication of her mind. And then finally there is Tupper, who is with Elizabeth, who is a renowned artist who keeps herself to herself. She's quite eccentric. Tupper himself has invented a macaw, a colourful macaw that holds a camera. And when Tupper asks Roy to feed the cat whilst they are away, he discovers that Roy actually doesn't go in to feed the cat because this camera's kind of picked up his activities. In fact, that he wasn't there. So there's an eclectic mix of people, of egos, of different desires in life, and they all mix together. Now, there is a fine line between the absurd and the humourful, and I would say that actually she runs this line quite nicely and really conjures up this kind of New York setting. Add into the mix a couple of teenagers, some pyromania, some pot, and oh yes, there's also Peaches, who is the nurse at the school, who looks after Stuart because he's got head lice. So, you know, it's kind of funny. She writes really well. And I think when I next go to New York, as and when that will happen, goodness knows, I will definitely go across that Brooklyn Bridge and make my way down to Cobble Hill, because it sounds like a fascinating brownstone area. It's got the chocolate room, which I think it's Peaches goes to visit after her dog has made a dump. I don't know what the well, I do know what the association is, but it sounds fascinating. I mean, there are lots of shops, busyness, and it has a really good vibe that the author really picks up in the book. So if you want a trip to New York, then I think Cobble Hill by Cecily von Ziegesar is one to pick up. It's funny in parts and it's very atmospheric.